can I have you introduce yourself? And what type of content do you create? And what platforms are you on?
My name is NeoChampy. I create Valorant content on Twitch, TikTok, and lifestyle content right now on YouTube. Um, I also like stream every day, so if you ever see me around, feel free to pull up.
Oh, would you consider yourself a full-time or a part-time streamer?
I would say full time
Mhm.
with the hours it's looking at right now. Probably full time, yeah.
So do you have a job outside of this as well? Or are you saying full-time because of the hours you're committing?
Um, I would say like I do technically have a quote unquote job. Like photography is my other like thing that I do in terms of
Mhm.
like time commitments. But I wouldn't say I have like a generic like corporate 9 to 5 or anything like that.
Got it, got it, got it. Also, wait, I just noticed, I love the sprout on your head. That thing is so cute.
Yeah, my artist made it for me.
Oh, I love it. All right, so you gave me a huge Excel sheet, which I love. I'm not gonna pull this up on stream because just
Mhm.
pulling up another POV is gonna, I swear to God, my brain's gonna break. I can't do it.
You're good. You're
But
good.
if you would like to give us a rundown of your streams of income, let's do the monthly average because that would, I guess, make the most sense.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up again. I closed it for a second.
Yeah, I
So
have
you
it literally on
said
my side monitor.
for which one?
Your monthly average, like your streams of income, and then how much you make from it. And because you have
Okay.
like the monthly average section, I think we can just pull from
Mhm.
that.
Okay, cool. So on Twitch, on average, it's about $200 off of like subs, tips, ads, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It does vary if I do things like subathons or like events that like cater around making more money on Twitch to like 300, 400, 300 or $400. And then going down like the socials list, TikTok, YouTube, and like ad revenue outside of Twitch itself, I haven't really made money off of because I haven't been posting content to those platforms. I have made a little bit money off of TikTok Live, just from like friends pulling up and stuff like that. And then we get down to the sponsorships. Sponsorships is like the biggest thing that I've made money
Mhm.
off of. It's that like I would probably say it's the easiest thing to make money off of. Monthly average is around $700 that I've made off of sponsorships, and from there it goes down to editing, which is editing for other content creators or editing for other like businesses. That has made me like $500 a month on average. Affiliates or like programs you can get affiliated with has been $12 around a month. And then photography, which I need to do a lot more of, has only maybe $120 a month
Mhm.
recently. So that's like a little average of like what I've been making off of my income sources.
Awesome. And then for those of you guys in chat, that is a total of $1,537 on a monthly average. So, and then do you really quick also want to touch on your expenses as well so we can kind of compare how that matches up because you are like a full-time creator?
Yeah. Right now the biggest expense I have is my car. Those can get a little bit expensive.
Mhm.
That goes around $500 on the like higher end a month. I do pay for my internet to have like the best internet I can.
Mhm.
It is $100 a month. Subscriptions being stuff like like Netflix or like Amazon Prime, things like that. I've spent around $121 a month, and I do put a little bit of money aside, like just to save up as an investment, which is like $100 a month, which in total is $821.
Nice. So I'm guessing you live with your parents so that there's no rent or like a mortgage on this.
Yes, yes, I do.
Awesome, awesome. So how like do you feel secure in this in like your income currently from content creation and how it relates to your expenses?
Um, right now, like secured, yes.
Mhm.
But I can definitely feel I can be in like a more secure position. It's not like I'm like like stressing over where I'm at right now, which is something I'm glad to be able to say.
Mhm.
Um, but I can definitely say I can be in a better position.
Mhm. Oh, and then Impact from chat is asking, what do you use to edit? Especially I do want to touch on this because editing is
Uh,
a big chunk of your income, so it is relevant.
yeah. I use Premiere Pro and the like entire Adobe suite. So
Premiere
Premiere
Pro
Pro,
gang.
After Effects, and stuff like that. Yeah. I started off editing with Sony Vegas, and just the timeline of Adobe products I can't go back from. It's really nice.
Dude, I swear, once you get into the Adobe suite, there's no leaving. It just like sucks you
Still
in and then it
turning
has like
back.
a chokehold on you and you're like Adobe for
Yeah,
days. Okay,
definitely.
Awesome, awesome. So, I do want to elaborate on some of the points of your income. I guess we could talk about more the editing since we just talked about like the programs you use. How did
Mhm.
you manage to get your editing up to this much per month? Like, did you go look out for clients yourself or did they come to you?
So funny enough, the most of my income started like last year, at the end of last year, because I ran into a creator at DreamHack that was looking for an editor, and we had a conversation about editing and stuff like that, and like the workload, what it'll look like, prices, and that started from there. Other than that, I've done projects here and there to like build up my portfolio. So it'd be like, hey, I'll edit this TikTok for like $2 and stuff like that. So like just putting a price on it rather than saying like, well, everyone usually starts at I'll do this for free, but a lot of people like want to value your time and like just don't like that. So they like seeing the number and value on it. So I started off doing like I'll do this for $1 or $2 maybe and progressed up to where I'm at now. I do have 4 clients that I edit for, which I'm glad to say moving into 2024 because it wasn't like that at all in 2023.
Oh, I love that for you. I actually completely relate to that because I have 2 editors and one of them, like, he's in chat, but he was the one who asked the question about your programs, but he constantly was like, "Let me do work for free," and I feel so uncomfortable accepting free work that, like,
Mhm.
the dollar or $2 is such a smart strategy because then, like, people like me wouldn't feel indebted
Yeah.
for it being like, "Oh, now I'm, like, receiving something for free that took a lot of your time and effort to create."
Mhm.
I like your strategy with that. So then would you feel comfortable saying, like, roughly how many hours you work on the editing part for these clients of yours?
On the project itself, for usually like long form videos, it will take me a couple, like maybe I'd say 2 or 3 days
Mhm.
of like maybe like 4 or 5 hour workloads.
Oh, wow.
Um, and then short form, it's like I can, if it's like a 1 to 2 minute video, I can probably get that done in like an hour, hour and a half, max. It really gets much easier the more you do it because there's certain things like presets and like
Mhm.
shortcuts. You start to learn the key binds and stuff like that. So
Copy and pasting
like
presets everywhere.
yeah, the fastest I've edited like a 1 minute TikTok was like 20 minutes, I think. So
Dang.
it's been good.
Then do you feel like you're being paid fairly for the amount of time you're putting in for your editing, or would you consider raising your prices down the line?
I would definitely raise my price
Mm.
down the line. You start to learn like from doing your first project, you're like, whoa, I wouldn't like pay this much money for it. And then you just start progressing it. Um, so even like the long form video I'm working on right now, like the rate that I set it at, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set this at a higher rate, and then for stuff that's smaller, I'll set it at a lower or the same rate I just did. Because it
Oh.
is a time investment editing for other people as well, because it's like it's their content, not yours. So you kind of have to take like that extra care of what you're doing for it.
Mhm.
So
Could I ask,
yeah.
like, hypothetically, how much it would cost to, commission you or, like, hire you to be an editor? A lot of people are very curious about editing prices. Could I throw out, like, a
Hmm.
hypothetical?
Um, Honestly, like for me to be someone else's like full-time editor, it would definitely vary on like what the
Oh,
content
I would just
is.
say,
Cause
like, a content piece. Like, if
oh, a
I were to
content piece,
hire
like if I
you to do an unboxing video for me, like, I filmed an unboxing video of a headset, and I were to hire you to edit this video down, and the raw footage is about 15 minutes, and I'm aiming for the video to hit about 8 minutes. So, to, YouTube mid-roll ads. How much would you price point that?
it would be like under the 100 range right now, like probably
Okay.
like 75 to like max $100. As long as I'm like, because if it's like a video of like you're giving me the entire footage to look
Yeah.
at, then I have to like scrub through and go through all of that. But if it's like, you give me all the clips, it's gonna be way cheaper because I'm just like taking the content you're giving me and making the video with it. And then I can
Okay.
ask for more if I need it type thing.
Mhm. Then what about
Yeah.
hypothetically a lot of people are also curious, a gaming TikTok video. I give you like a clip from my stream. I'm like, here's like a 1 minute 30-second segment of my stream where I'm playing Valorant and I got like a 4K in this and I want you to edit this down for a TikTok.
It would be lower of like $10, $15. That's what has been like
Oh.
it's been really easy to like quick make those videos, especially with
Uh-huh.
that like short amount of time that I haven't been at the stage where I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna charge you $200 for this because it's not realistic for me yet. I do value my time though, but like it's just something I can do really quickly. But when I'm like at that stage, I'll definitely like bump the prices.
Mm. Okay, but at least you feel like you're being fairly compensated for the rate for that right now.
Mhm,
Oh, that's so interesting. Because a lot of people that I've talked to, they've been so interested in, like, hiring an editor, but they don't know. Oh, wait, actually, I have 2 questions because this is, like, but they don't know how to, like, even negotiate this price because they don't even know where a
mhm.
starting price range is, so thank you for throwing that out because at least, like, people hearing it now, I feel like, would know what's,
Yeah.
like, a price point to go by. As an editor, just this is, like, completely not finance related, but just out of curiosity, what's your pet
Mhm.
peeves with, like, footage and, like, how content creators give you footage to edit? Like, do you have any pet
Um,
peeves when it comes to editing people's footage?
my biggest pet peeve is, like, getting content that's, like, not the quality they expect. Like, if
Mm.
I'm giving a low quality video and you expect, like, a high quality outcome, it's just, like, not something I can do.
I
So
give you,
it's
like, a
like
240p, like,
yeah,
it's,
like,
like,
I've gotten
stuttering.
that before, and I'm just like, I can't really, like, turn this into what you want me to turn it into, like but it's probably my biggest pet peeve. Other than that, it's nothing really that, like, bothers me about, like, working with clients.
Mhm,
Um, just because a lot of people have the mindset of, like, what they wanna do, and that's, like, the best. Like, they just give you, "I want this done. Here's a best of what I have, and go on with it." And I was like, "Okay, cool, cool." So, yeah.
aw, those are honestly the best, like, as an artist, when people are just like, "Here you go, I want this," I'm like, "Perfect, I got you," and they're like, "Perfect, I love it," I'm like, "Peace." No
Yeah.
revisions, nothing, we're good to go. Okay, thank you for elaborating on that, because
Yeah.
especially I feel like that's a big one that people another person in chat had the question where they were, asking, "How would a potential client contact you?"
Say it one more time?
How would a potential client, like an editing client, contact you? Like, how would that conversation
I
start?
usually, like, I've gotten a lot of well, not a lot. I've gotten emails about it before, and like they're usually like, "Hey, I'm this kind of content creator, and I want to make this content on other platforms like short form or long form." And they're like, "What are your rates?" and stuff like that. And then the conversation just goes from there.
Mhm.
Um, like I've had people on D or Discord hit me up as well, like, "Hey, do you edit?" And I was like, "Yeah, how much?" It is like, "It depends." So it's just like the conversation can go like anyhow it goes, but it's usually preferred when it's just like that one message of like, "This is me and this is what I want."
Mhm.
So yeah. Um, other than that, like I've reached out to people too, just being like, "Hey, I'm a short form editor. I can edit this for you," stuff like that. It's just like however you want the conversation to go is like how it should go. So if you want to find a short form editor, then say you want a short form editor, not really like, "Hey, hi, hello, how are you? Good." Like that elongated like conversation of awkwardness.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't mind either way. Just usually just precise and to the point usually works.
Mhm. Then have you had like, what are your methods for like you said, because 'cause you've reached out to creators too. What are your methods to reaching out to creators, and, like, what method have you found you've had well, I guess we've kind of touched about this already. Just for
Mhm.
other editors out there that might be watching that are probably curious on, like, gaining a clientele. Like, I think the better way I would ask this question is, like, how have you built your clientele?
Just from building a portfolio,
Mhm.
the easiest way I did it actually was editing for friends that like aren't even content creators, like just
Oh.
taking those clips and just being like, all right, I'm gonna make a short video out of this and I can post it, I cannot post it. I'm still getting that experience and I can put it somewhere. So when someone does ask or when you do reach out, you can be like, hey, I've done this before. Can I possibly edit for you? Like it's always a portfolio because everyone always asks to see your work. Like
Mhm.
they're not just gonna be like, sure, let's work something out, or like, sure, we can try this or that. They want to see what you can do or what your style is, so that way they can like match with you. Because like if someone does lifestyle content and you're a gaming editor, those are gonna clash and it's not gonna like make the ideal perfect video.
Mhm.
Vice versa. So it's just like having that portfolio and building that portfolio off of like just simple things like maybe clips that you have of gaming or clips that like you can outsource. You can even I think I did this one time where I took a YouTube video and I re-edited it, just like added stuff and like changed some stuff to make it shorter and like a little bit more interactive. And someone liked that and hired me for a project. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
cool. And that all happened through email. So it just takes a little bit of time to get like invested in it at the start. And from there, it honestly flows because word of mouth is very important. in the editing world as well. But yeah, that's basically, I would say, the portfolio.
Dang, that's some really good advice out here. I love to hear that. Oh my god. All right. So, going from editing over to your Twitch income. So, you said that
Mm.
you make on average about $200 per month of Twitch. How does do you can you elaborate a little bit on the breakdown if you're comfortable with that? Like how does that look in terms of subs versus bits versus ad revenue? I should have
Um,
probably asked you for this like off stream so that you could
you're good,
like
you're
pull that
good.
up. But
So the most of my revenue has came from subs.
mhm.
Um, a lot of people just like subbing. A lot of people like challenges as well as stuff like if I do this, like 5 subs, like if I do that, like 10 subs, stuff like that. But a close second definitely is ads.
Mm.
So it's like subs and gifted subs and then ads. Because in the world where like you're getting rated and you have the viewership, where like you just already have the viewership to roll ads, ads does like it does add up.
Get a raid, rolls
Um
an ad.
no, like honestly. But the subs are is where most of the income comes from, and then the ads right behind that, and then everything else is just like really small, like the bits and cheering and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's kind of what it looks like. And then honestly, Twitch is one of the platforms. It's a subscription based thing, so a lot of the times it just rolls over per month. So that's how it gets consistent until people don't want to sub anymore, or until it runs out. But yeah, that is a thing where it comes from, like, gifted subs don't stick, they don't, like,
Yeah.
carry over, so it's like, that's where the subathon months are higher than the regular months because they don't carry over per month.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's what the breakdown looks like.
Do you employ any monetization strategies for your Twitch? Like, because you mentioned, like the challenges people like. Like, do you have any examples of those and like any other monetization strategies you do to kind of like get that Twitch number up?
Other than subathons, there's, like, some smaller things you can do to where, like, you can incentivize subbing, like, a challenge I did recently was, a big challenge I did was playing 100 matches of Valorant straight. It's like an 87-hour
How
thing.
did you sleep?
Yeah, I slept,
Oh,
like,
okay,
here and
thank
there.
God.
But people were
Thank you for
able to,
sharing
like,
this interview,
sub
Kat.
to
Catley
make me eat a
Valentine's
Bamboozle, for
Heart.
example, and that was just something, like, completely off of the topic of, like, the entire stream. But everyone wants to see, like, their favorite streamers in pain, so,
Mhm.
people sub to see that. But just small little things like that. I have done or back earlier when I streamed, like, I'd say 2022, I think was the only time I did this. I raised a little bit of money for stuff like charities, which doesn't really go to you, it goes to the charity, but it's still like kind of a monetization thing.
Mhm.
Stuff for charities or stuff for yourself, like if you're aiming for like I've seen a lot of people do like car payments or whatever it may be, like they put that on their stream too. But there's stuff like that too that works. But for me, I've just done like gaming sided incentives.
Mm. Nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about your sponsorships because that is the largest chunk of your income. Um, would you be comfortable elaborating? You don't have to give like specific like X company paid this amount if you're not comfortable with that, but like examples of companies that you've worked with and like what the deliverable is and what your rate for it. But you don't have to be if you're not comfortable, you don't have to be like Elgato paid me X amount for one video, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So funny enough, it is not like just like a bunch of different brands that
Oh.
comes from. I just started getting into like reaching out to brands for my like other potential sponsorships,
Mhm.
but all of my past sponsorships have come from one company that basically flies me out to different conventions and has me do VR content while I'm like at the convention. So,
That's
for example,
sick.
yeah, DreamHack, I got to go like everything paid for, and I went to the convention to basically make VR content and manage a VR zone,
Mhm.
and they paid me for that. So I just go there, hop on there to a stream, and like sometimes cast, sometimes commentate, sometimes play, and it's a little bit fun. But that's just all from one company, and that all came from me going to a gaming convention to initially to stream, but I did play a lot of games while I was there. And then I reached out to the company that was there and was like, "Hey, do you guys need some help?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Cool, I'm a content creator,"
Mhm.
and it just went from there.
That is so cool. Okay, wait. Then I would love to hear you elaborate a little bit more about how you built this relationship. So you just said that, like, you showed up and you just, like, reached out to them. Was that it, basically?
Mhm. Not necessarily. I did do a little bit of volunteer work actually.
Mm,
The very first convention that I went to was volunteer work because it was local. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm free. I can come help you guys out." And then from there, they saw like the stuff I do or like the like energy I brought and stuff like that, and they're like, "Hey, we actually want you to come to this event too." And then it rolled over. "Hey, are you free this weekend?" And it just kept rolling over. So it initially started from like the very first one was a volunteer one that I was just like, yeah, I'm free. I can come out, see what you guys need help with. Because at the time, I didn't know like anything of like what specifics they needed from me. So
mhm.
when they saw it, they were like, "Oh, okay, we can actually have you do this like consistently," and that's where it came from.
Then how did you guys negotiate the payment for it? If you don't mind
Um, the
explaining
payment
this.
The payment wasn't really, like, negotiated, it
Mm,
was something that I just, like, settled with because it was, like, good enough for me, from the first, because I was perfectly fine at the time doing it for volunteer because it was something that I could, like, build off of,
mhm,
like, going to conventions like DreamHack, TwitchCon wasn't included, but, like, different, like, a lot of them are gaming and anime conventions, which I can find, like, more people in the community of, like, content creation. It's a
mhm,
lot of people like that cosplay or that like gaming do also make content on like TikTok and stuff like that. So it was still something that I would want to go to because initially it was like volunteer work, but everything was covered. So like if I wanted food and like place to stay, like I had that stuff. And then they started paying me and I was like, nice. So I didn't mind not getting paid until started getting paid and it turned
mhm.
into like an actual sponsorship thing. Um but yeah, the payment wasn't necessarily negotiated, but if I wanted to negotiate, like, more pay on it, it would be a conversation that I'd definitely have,
Mhm.
when the time comes.
Okay. So then, like, in terms of the expectations for you relative, because, like, I'm just guessing they probably paid you, like, a couple hundred for it. So is the expectation that you go there and, like, from, like, when the convention starts to when the convention ends, you're basically manning this booth this entire time? Like, what are kind of, like, the expectations of you from this company and, like, the hours you put in at the convention?
So, it started off being that because we didn't really have, like, much other help.
Mhm,
I did have to be at the convention from, like, the start to the finish, but I did get, like, hour and a half, like, time to go do whatever. But whenever, like, the stream events happen and, like, I had to be in front of the camera and stuff like that, I would have to be there.
mhm,
It now got to the point where, like, I just, like, wander around and make sure everything's, like, A-okay, and then when the streams happen, I am there. And those streams are, like, I'd say 1 to 2 hours. They're usually tournaments that happen.
mm,
So just being there for that 1 to 2 hour time frame and then, like, helping out here and there. So it's not really that much of a time investment for me.
mm.
I get to go have fun at the convention and then help out when I need to.
Ooh. I would actually argue sorry, I'm sorry for turning this into, like, a little bit of an advice column real quick, but I would actually argue that you could negotiate a higher rate for the content creation work you're doing aside from the booth manning work. From my
Mhm.
experience, because I used to work for an esports org, I would be paid a day rate for working the event. Because the line
Mhm.
gets so blurry when you basically tread the line between employee and content creator because it's two
Yeah.
different types of pay. But
Mhm.
if I did any sort of content creation work, that was actually like an extra fee on top of my day rate because it's like two separate things. And I negotiated for two separate payments on it, even though I was paid
Yeah.
in like the same check, but because it was like two different types of
2
work that was
separate
being
things.
asked, if that makes sense. So I think
Yeah,
there
that
is room
definitely
for
makes
if you
sense.
do choose to go down that route, there is room, I think, for negotiation on that front.
Yeah. Um, it's also, like, a lot of the future stuff they plan, it will get to the point where I don't actually have to go there. I can do it, like, from
Oh,
home
mhm.
in terms of, like, casting. So it's like, when the time comes, it definitely will be a conversation that I will take up. So, yeah.
Get that bag. Alright, so
Definitely.
on here, you also said that you do affiliates. Could you elaborate more on what this is? Like, what that looks like for you?
I've had an affiliate, I think I forgot the name of it. I think it's Dubby, the one of the energy
Mm,
drinks.
yeah, yeah.
And there was another one, I think it's called Frontal.
Mhm,
They basically do like tech stuff. I just have affiliate codes for both of them, and like I had promoted them at the time like a lot and tried it out on stream and stuff like
mhm.
that. And it was good. So I recommended it. And it was mostly coming from my friends than the community itself. Because I told them like, yo, try this out," and they were like, "I bet I'm gonna try it out," and they liked it. So it's like I get a little bit of like money from it, and they get to try something that they not like. So
Mhm,
in terms of tech too, like it's just tech recommendations. Oh, and Amazon as well.
mhm.
The Amazon storefront, how you get a little bit of commission from that, because a lot of people have complimented me on like my stream layout and like my room and
Yeah,
stuff
my
like that,
stream
and they
was
want to
complimenting
see,
you.
yeah, they want to see like what's in my like area, and it's
Mhm,
like everything's on my Amazon page, and you get that small little commission from it as well.
mhm.
So
Get that
it's really
commission,
nice.
if you do have, like, a Dyson vacuum or a PC you need to buy, buy it after clicking my link so I still get the 10% or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So then,
definitely.
given that, would you continue doing these affiliate deals? Because I feel like it's always a little catch-22 because if it is a product you genuinely enjoy, then, like, who cares? But at the same time, like, to be blunt, like, people don't make crap off affiliate deals, like, in general, and
Yeah.
then, like, from what you've listed, it's like and I'm not saying this to, like, because I also, like, have done affiliate deals, it's like the same thing, you make, like,
Mhm.
$10, you're lucky to break $30 on an affiliate deal, to be honest.
Literally, yeah.
So it's like
Honestly, sorry,
oh,
yeah.
sorry,
In
go
my
ahead.
opinion, it's like it's an option there.
Mhm,
Like it's something you don't necessarily have to like constantly work on. So it's technically a source of passive income, which who wouldn't like passive income? It's just something for someone to click on and oh, I made $2. Nice, cool.
mhm.
So it's like it's something I would still like pursue just for it to be there. But it's not something I like grind out. Like I want to be affiliates with every single company on the market. Um but yeah, it's an option. It's something I would definitely recommend looking into at least, just for the companies that you like actually like care about. Because if you're promoting like if you're promoting like Raid Shadow Legend, for example, I'm not saying like it's a bad company to promote or anything, but like not everyone likes Raid Shadow Legends. So it's like
That's
do the
true.
stuff that you actually care about, and it'll just go from there. But yeah.
No, I like that idea. I've done a Raid Shadow Legends deal, and full
Sweet.
transparency, I needed the money, bruh. Like, I was in college, I needed the money. I made, like, over 1K from it, so, yo, get your
See, I
I
was
got my bag, we don't talk about it again.
get your bag. I was being honest in that stream, but I
You're
was
like, "I
also
hate this."
falling asleep, so it was okay.
It is what it is. Alright,
It is what
so,
it is.
I do wanna talk a little bit then about, like, other like, how you feel as a content creator, etcetera. Are there any other monetization avenues that you've been considering that, you might be exploring in 2024?
All of them. In terms of the ones that, like, are listed on the sheet that just, like, have a 0 beside it, they are very strong paths of, like, income that, like,
Mhm,
I feel like everyone should look into. Because little Caliente promotion here. But if you look at Cat Liete's tweets and like the revenue income and stuff like that, I haven't posted mine, but Cat has posted hers, and you can see evidently that like the as a content creator, like the money doesn't come from the platforms itself; it comes from like outsourcing. But like there is still money you can make off the platform itself. So like for example, YouTube, TikTok, and like the ad revenue, like just posting those videos and being able to make money off of them, getting to that point of like the creator fund and stuff like that is something I want to get to.
mhm.
But I also want to dive into more sponsorships and like outsourcing money from like being a content creator, but like, hey, this is my content, give me money. It's like I can help you promote your content or promote your products and get money from that as well. So sponsorships and like the platforms themselves, I want to dive into a little bit more. Um, but yeah, I think that's basically it. And also being able to go to like different conventions, say DreamCon, TwitchCon, DreamHack, as like a content creation or as a content creator, or get paid to go, like just to be able to like panel host or be industry or whatever it may be. That would be really cool too this year.
Do you have a roadmap for how it's gonna look like for you going into, like, getting that TikTok monetization, that YouTube monetization up?
Hmm. Well, yes. I'm now starting
Ooh.
to post more on those like platforms because at the end of the day, like those platforms are like hungry for like your stats. Those are the only like avenues of incomes that care about your stats. Because
Mhm,
honestly, all the other ones don't. Like you can be a tuber Andy with 10 followers and like, hey, I constantly make content and people will care. But the platform itself, there's so many content creators on the platforms that they're just like, okay, this is the requirement for you to start making money off of it. So what mine looks like right now is just to like consistently post more on the platforms to get to that stage. And then from there, it's just like everything kind of comes passively from continually or continuously posting on the platforms, engaging with the viewers there to like, get more viewers, get more followers and stuff like that. Connect with the community. Um, but yeah, that's in terms of the platforms and then like sponsorships. Uh at the start of the year, like literally January 1st, no, it was New Year's Eve, I was in the Dominican Republic, and I went on your Notion thing and just scrolled through. Like, it's honest. I'm being so honest, I scrolled through and it was like, I looked at each company that had, like, some interest I had some interest in, and I just applied. So, like, there's a lot of
I
creator
love that for
agencies that I
you.
found. Yeah, there's a lot of creator agencies that I found, and I was just like, "Alright, why not? See where this takes me." So, it's just a waiting game right now and reaching out to more companies as I go, just getting a little bit more consistent, but I'm on my daily streamer arc and my daily poster getting there arc as well, just to grow to the point where the platforms itself give me money, and then I can look at the sponsorships as they come in and as I reach out as well.
I love that. I love how you already have a plan. That you already have like a plan,
Yeah.
laid out for how you're gonna do this. And dang, New Year's Eve, you were hustling. It wasn't
It
even
was like
2024 yet.
2024?
I know. You're like
Let's go.
2023. I'm gonna beat you to it. Like I'm gonna already start.
Yeah.
And then, what do you feel your biggest struggles of monetization have been as a creator?
Mm, I would say just like taking the time to like outreach, I would say. Because
Mhm,
again, like the platforms themselves, they will come as they come. The more you get your stuff out there, the more you get the traction and the money from it. Just finding the time outside of doing stuff like that to like reach out to brands or like reach out to potential sponsorships or reach out to potential creators to edit for. I definitely had like I think it was like a good week of waking up and just like first thing I do was outreach, and then it was just like, oh my gosh, I have so many projects, or oh my gosh, I need to make this video by this date, and like starting to stress. But I've started to like just get on a one tunnel or one stop train of like just doing everything like whenever it comes and not just like stressing over like when it's supposed to be done or like how it gets done. But just like putting more quality into it so the content is there whenever it gets there.
mhm.
Um and not being too overworked by it, the more you stress yourself out, the harder it is on yourself. So like mental health is definitely like something that's important. Take care of yourself before taking care of like everything else, and everything else will just flow in. So yeah.
Yeah, how's your work-life balance?
Work life balance, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. It's more of like a game work life balance is bad, but the work life balance is good. I do spend a lot of time like gaming, just like on and off stream, but
Mhm.
focusing on content is definitely something that like I want to start doing more. Definitely saying like no to like the impulsive thoughts of like hopping on the game or like watching someone else's stream and then be like, okay, now I want to play, and then
Dude,
just
that's
like
the
it's
biggest thing, man, when you open up a freaking Valorant streamer and then like 5 minutes later, you're in a game. Like, it just
yeah,
happens like
it's
that.
bad. It happens. It's really easy for it to happen. But just being dedicated and like setting your focus to like, yeah, I need to get this done. That really does help in terms of like balancing like being able to work on content and like getting outside and touching grass. So
Mhm,
it is what it is. Just make sure I just make sure that I have a little bit of both every day. Because once in a while it's still good, but like just having the time every day to like just clear your mind, take a walk or something, it does help as well.
mhm. What do you is there has there ever been anything that you feel like would help you in your content creation journey? Doesn't have to be like, I guess, monetization related?
Um, Helping me like now, no. Just like from last year to this year, I've gotten a lot of like I would say friends, like content creator friends and like just friends in general that like just push me forward. And my community itself, like my community pushes me a lot. So that is like the biggest help, just having someone to bug me about like you're doing good and keep it up and stuff like that. Like that is definitely like the most motivating thing I can ever ask for. So that's my number one thing. anything else that I can like ask for, not really. Everyone wants money. That's probably the number one thing a lot of people
Yeah.
do want. But just having, if it's like anything that people would like don't know that they want until they have it, it's just like friends that push you on. So just reaching out to other creators if you're a creator, reaching out to other editors if you're an editor, just like find people that like you click with and stick with them. Like it's so easy to like motivate each other. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you do a really good job of the community building. Like, every time I swear to God, every time I see something about your name, it's just like 10 people commenting under it, being like, "Oh my god, Neo, I love Neo, Neo's the best." It's like it goes hand in hand. I swear to God.
Yeah, the first time it, like, genuinely happened for me was in the Creator Royale and in Creator
Oh.
U, right before TwitchCon. Like, as my video was going up, it was just, like, I saw my name so much that it was just, like, it was very, like it was almost emotional for me, like, it was me, like, realizing where I'm at now and, like, how many people I have supporting me and, like, just being glad for where I'm at, you know? So, yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I mean, we love that. Like, that's like the best thing, honestly. Every time I see it, I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so wholesome." Like, your
Yeah.
community shows up for you in every single way, and I absolutely love that for you. I love that. Then, what are your monetization goals by like, where would you like to see yourself? I guess, like, monetization-wise by the end of 2024?
Um, I want to be able to, like, uh it's I've always had a goal when I first started content creation to, like, be in a content creator house with, like, other content creators and, like, being like, sustained off of just, like, content creation. So, like, my goal by the end of 2024 is just to be able to do that, like, not having like, being in that position, but just to be able to do that, just having enough, like, monthly income or just, like, self-sustainability to, like, do what I want with content, um, and be in a position, like, not really viewership wise, but, like, um, what's it called? As a creator, just to be able to, like, do more of what I want and people enjoy it for, like, me, just to have the, like, monetary funds to give back to my community as well, comfortably and stuff like that just by the end of 2024. And to be able to go to more events too. Even if it's like they're not paying me to go, like I have enough money to go, like just based off of content creation. I think that's where I would be looking for by the end of the year.
Oh, and then what about, like, not monetary related, but in terms of your career? I mean, I guess the content house might be one of it.
Yeah. That probably is my number one, but like
Mhm.
right behind that, in terms of my career, I want to just be like recognized as someone who like motivates other people to pursue content creation. Cause this all started like not really off of me doing it for myself. Like there was a lot of other people that wanted to do it too, but like couldn't find the time. So I just like started streaming my games to them and they watched and like joined in. And them being there with me playing the game on my stream felt like they were making content too. So I was like, yo, this is kind of fun. And I started doing it for myself. So just being someone that can like motivate other people to like see where they like I started to see where I'm at now, just having like my portfolio of like being a content creator, um, and being a successful content creator, I would say, in terms of like gaming, lifestyle, whatever avenue I go down with that.
That is so wholesome. Oh, you can do it. I believe in you. End of 2024, you're gonna be in that content house, and I'm gonna be seeing, be like, "Damn, I know Neo."
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I'll be riding off your coattails. Alright,
I agree.
so, to wrap this up, shout yourself out. Where can we find you on your social media platforms?
I am Neo Champion on every social media platform. Daily streamer on Twitch. I just posted a setup video of like this wonderful thing on YouTube as well that hit my first 1K, which is I'm very happy about. So thank you guys. And then TikToks, Valorant content creator on there as well, and some lifestyle stuff is coming on Instagram as well. If you're interested in lifestyle. But yeah, Neo Champion on all social media platforms.
Let's go, and I gotta say, I love the 02 banners you have hanging in the back. So
Yeah,
fucking sick. She's, like, one of my favorite characters, like, ever
they're
in anime.
amazing.
She's so cute. Ah! I love
There's
it.
like a From that same store, they gave me a skateboard that I just, like, have unopened, like, it's just
Oh, that's
a
sick.
skateboard, but I don't actually skate,
You
but,
can, like,
like,
hang it up on
yeah,
the wall maybe or something.
that's the goal.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
crazy. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Neo. I
You're
appreciate you so much for
welcome.
being here. Thank you, thank
You're welcome, you're welcome.
you.
Love all of you guys.